Welcome to today's version of the Weekly Outlook. Today's date is March 24th. Hopefully everybody's having a phenomenal day. Super happy and grateful to come on here, be able to touch base with everybody, get the week started off on the right foot. And if you're new, we do these calls just to essentially give you guys a little bit of insight on what it is that I'm going to be looking at going into the week. Now, obviously, it is just Sunday. A lot of things can change based off of, price action and, news events and, certain things that can happen throughout the course of a very long week. So this isn't just the end all be all. This is just a slight insight to what it is that I'm going to be looking at. And if you want more up-to-date information so far as day-to-day, I highly encourage you guys to tap into Trade Genius, where I do several calls per week. So with that being said, this is just a glimpse. Hopefully the trades play out. Maybe they will, maybe they don't. But again, just to be able to have the up-to-date info, you will have to tune in a little bit deeper with our community, right? This is just a free call that I like to do. So whether the trades hit or not, there is going to be some things that you hear today that should be valuable, whether it's mindset, whether it's technical, whatever the case may be. Again, if you're not familiar with me, been trading now for about 5-6 years. Been able to help a lot of people, been able to help myself, been able to do a lot of cool stuff. I don't know everything, but what I do know is what I do has been able to work in my life. And that's the best thing about trading is there's a million different ways to get money in this market. But if you find one that resonates with you, if you find a system that you like, an approach that, fits your personality, you can really pretty much bend trading to whichever personality type that you are. But the main thing I want you guys to do is to remain consistent with whatever strategy or whatever approach that you follow. A lot of people I see, they jump from strategy to strategy, mentor to mentor, and they don't ever find that consistency, because trading is not something that you're just gonna get into and your profit's gonna go straight to the moon. It's gonna be a process, and you have to do it consistently for a while to even know if the system that you're, employing or the system that you're implementing is actually working, right? So this is not just, you're going to take a trade tomorrow and that's how you know the strategy works, right? With me, I tell my team to take anywhere from 20, 30, 50 consecutive trades. So that way you could see your true equity curve. Anybody could win a trade. I can give my phone to my little sister who's never traded a day in her life, and she could push buy or sell and she can become profitable, right, for the day. But anybody can do that. That could be luck. It could be beginner's luck, whatever the case may be. The only way you're going to truly know if you're successful in real life is by sticking around long enough to see the results. My mentor told me only two things stops you from being successful: either doing something wrong or not doing something long enough. All right. So you could be doing all the right things, but again, if you don't take 30 or 20, 30, 50 trades, you're not going to truly know what's going to work and what's not going to work long term. And again, like I said, I've been trading now for years. And if you want this to be a profession of yours, that should be your goal as well. So don't rush the process. Don't be so anxious to be successful to the point where you're not trusting the process and you're not paying your dues. That's what trading, a lot of trading is just about paying your dues and deserving to succeed, man. Like anytime I see another successful trader, I know that they put in time. I know that they've had some sleepless nights, and that's just something that you're going to have to go through. So if I were you, I would just embrace it. Don't even stress out about it too much. Just fall in love with what it is that you're doing. And I could assure you, in due time, because this time is going to pass you by anyway, regardless if you do it or not. So you might as well just lock in, right? But again, this is a technical call. I ain't going to go too deep on the mindset with y'all. Look, getting the call started off, I want to take a look at GBP USD. Actually, what I'll do is I'll start off with the DXY. I want to start doing that again. I kind of got away from that. But taking a look at the DXY, last week, I wanted some shorts from this level, and that's actually what I got, right? Did I think the market could go a little lower? I did. I'm not going to lie. But at the end of the day, I did understand that regardless, I did want a reaction, right? That's all you could truly ask for. Sometimes the market will continue to drop, and that's just a best case scenario. You drop and you make a brand new low, breaking the previous low over here to the left to make a new low down here. That would have been the best case scenario, but obviously that didn't happen. I was fully aware of that. We may just drop to clear out some lows over here to the left and then continue on a bullish uptrend. And that's what we actually saw happen. The market just dropped to run back into this area of imbalance right here. We also have this breaker over here to the left. So just with that, that's essentially what happened. So the market pushed back up, ended up making a new high. So now at this point, I'm really curious to see what's going to happen, because now the market is making a new high, and the market may very well be in an uptrend. But even still, I don't want to make it seem like I'm just chasing sales at this point. But I mean, I kind of am looking for another sell, right? I'm looking at this wick over here. The market could either come and clear this wick, or it may end up respecting it, because the fact that this market left a wick, that means within 4 hours, because we're on a 4-hour chart, this wick, that means at one point within that 4 hours, this was a big bullish candle, like a full big blue candle. But within that 4 hours, it actually lost all of its power and ended up going bearish, right? So at the end of the day, if we were to go down to the lower time frames, that candle would look like this, right? And then the market would have just dropped off. Now, the whole thing about that is that could have left a supply zone that we can come into later on in the future and then sell from. So I don't like selling from wicks, but there are certain instances where selling from a wick makes sense, because if the wick is long enough and the reaction is big enough, it could be a buy to sell candle or a sell to buy candle on the lower time frame. Similarly, if we look over here, right, you see kind of how, you got this sell before the buy, then the market comes back to respect it before it takes off again. So there are times where wicks can be respected. So this is a potentiality right here, especially considering that we did clear out some previous highs. So essentially there is some some profit taking place. A lot of people that are long on the bullish side of things are probably taking profit, considering that they're breaking multiple highs, right? So we broke a high right here at this first black line, and we came up a little higher. We decided to break some more highs over here to the left. So there is the potential here for us to drop lower. At the same time, I want to keep this option open as well, because at the end of the day, I tell you guys this just about every call, you don't have to be one and done. You can pick multiple points of interest. Like, nobody is so great to the point to where, and don't get me wrong, sometimes you're going to get the perfect zone and then you feel you feel invincible. You feel like you're the market wizard. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we got to be humble enough to know that every time we pick a zone, the market is not going to respect it. Not every single time. So the best thing you could do is have multiple options, to where even if the first point of interest or the first zone that you look to take a trade from doesn't play out, you still have another option on the table that you can utilize, right? So this would probably be my first option here, is to see the market go bearish, just because, again, we cleared out highs. We cleared out highs here. We cleared out more highs here. This wick is a buy to sell candle on the lower time frame, and this could be an area of supply that pushes the market back down. Whether or not we make a new low or not, I don't know, because the market is currently at this time bullish on this time frame. So if the market does remain bullish, we may just get a shorter reaction and then a continuation up again. Either way, I am an intraday trader, right? Sometimes I'm even a scalper. I don't like to call myself a scalper, because most scalpers don't, pay that much attention to structure and stuff like that, which I do. But I'm somebody that trades on like the 5 minute, sometimes the 1 minute, right? So even if the market goes from here to here, that's going to be a great day for me. So realistically, what I have circled here can still be bullish, but as long as the market drops right here to make a higher low point, I'm still good, right? So the market can remain bullish on the higher time frame, but as long as I get a drop for the day, that's all I'm looking for. And then by the time I close profits or by the time I partial out, if the market wants to reverse and go up, so be it. I don't personally don't really care because again, I trade on lower time frames anyway, right? So option A, I would be looking at, this zone here. If this one doesn't hold up, I'd probably be looking at the potential to sell from here because we do have highs to the left that got cleared out. Then the market clearly, drops to make a new low. So, we clear highs, then we make a new low. So the market could be making a lower high up here to drop back down again. So we got to keep that option on the table as well. So overall, I'm hoping for sales. I see the market order flow is like currently bullish, but I do believe we're running into some areas of supply. Now that we got that understood, I believe GU is going to continue bullish. All right. Because if excuse me, if GBP or if USD, excuse me, the DXY, I'm tripping. My bad. If the DXY is bullish, all right, bearish, I believe GU should be going bullish. I'm getting my words all jumbled up because I'm trying to cut my camera on. My bad. Let me get focused up. So it don't sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, if the DXY is bearish, then GBP USD should be bullish, right? And just a rule of thumb for anybody that doesn't know this, right? Whatever the DXY is, right? If the DXY equals bullish, then anything that starts with USD will also be bullish. Okay. While anything that ends in USD will be bearish. All right. It's important to know. And this is more likely than not. There may be certain situations where the DXY might be bullish, but then GU is even more bullish. And then maybe this correlation doesn't happen. But more likely than not, this is always going to be the correlation, right? So if the DXY is bearish, then anything that starts with USD will also be bearish, right? Anything that ends type today or nothing, man. So yeah, I would just take a quick screenshot of that just so you know. So this is the reason why we check the DXY first, all right? That's the whole reason why we check the DXY first, because it gives us a good understanding of what direction things should be going. So in this instant, the DXY is bearish, or I believe it's gonna go bearish based off of the what it is that I just showed you guys on the previous chart. So since I expect the DXY to go bearish, GBP USD should go bullish because it ends with USD. So XXX is GBP, or this could be AUD. This could be Euro. It could be anything that ends with USD. I'm expecting it to go bullish now. All right. So I actually talked about this on my call. I decided to do a call on Friday. I usually don't do calls on Friday, but I decided to do one because I was a little busy the night before. But just with this, I wanted to buy it from down here. We never quite got in because the call was just like when I dropped the call, the market was already pushing up, and I didn't want us to get in late, right? I hate getting in trades late. So that's why I have this little, down and up move right here. So if the market was to come back down to 1.2588, we would take buys again. So the market did come back to that level right around where the market was about to close. So some people took it, some people didn't, based on the broker you might be using or prop firm you using. Some people might allow trades over the weekend, others might not. Some people just don't like holding trades. So I'm assuming most people didn't take, right? But if you are in a position to start going long on GU, I would definitely be open to that possibility. Just the fact over here to the left, we did overshoot this level, right? So this would be like one of our option B setups. If you're unfamiliar with that, again, this is something that I go over a lot with my community. Is just because you have a zone, again, doesn't mean that that zone is going to be respected. Because primarily I was looking at this level, but the fact that this low got taken out, honestly, it just makes it that much more attractive in my opinion, because now we have all the liquidity that was left underneath this low now got captured when we came and took that low out right here. So us just coming down to clear this low just makes this bullish situation look a little more probable in my opinion, because now we took out the sell side liquidity that was once over here, right? Which is super important because the market moves based off of liquidity. Everything the market does is based off of liquidity. So the fact that whatever money was underneath this low got taken when we ran this low right here, it just makes the possibility of us going bullish a little more probable, more so now than even it did before. So I got a couple of targets here. I feel like that would be one. This would be an area where most people are just taking profits for the day or taking profits on a nice intraday type setup. If you want to go more for like a banger type setup, I would go for this previous highway up here, because you see we do have some relative equal highs right above this point up here. So if we just take a look at these highs do look weak, right? So when I'm taking trades, I'm also looking for liquidity in the direction that I'm trading in. So not only does that high have relative equal highs, so does this one here. All right. So we have multiple areas where the market leaves weak highs behind. Okay. That could be potential targets. And we got all this empty space to fill in. All right. That is just internal range liquidity at the end of the day. Right. So this is a high, this is a low of a range. So all of the money that rests in between that area can be taken up. All right. So that's what that's what I see right there. That would be a great trade setup. And obviously, the big home run would just be us coming back towards this high. That would be like a 1-15 type of trade setup. All right. So to start the day off, get your 4 for 4, you know, 4.4 risk to award. I usually like 1-5, but I'm being a little more open to 1-4, 1-3, because I've had a few trades that got close to 1-5, then it reversed, right? And I didn't take nothing off the table. So I'm like, let me not be hard headed. Let me not be egotistical to the point where I have to hit 1-5 every time. Don't get me wrong, it does help my overall profitability, but at the same time, 1-4 is good, right? So if you can get a 1-4, don't be stingy just to try to get the 1 to 5, right? 1 to 4 is good. So right here we got 4.4, risking 20 pips to catch about 88, right? Second take profit for me would be about 215 pips. That'll be a 1 to 10, a little bit over 1 to 10. And then once that one's hit, this will probably be the one that I'll hold for the rest of the week. Typically here, I'm already closed at least 80% of my trades. So don't get it twisted. I'm not holding a full position for 300 pips, right? Like it would be foolish for me to be up 100, 200 pips and not secure no profit, right? So by the time it gets up here, I'm probably only holding 10% of the trade, maybe 20%, just depending on how much money I make on the first couple targets, right? So by the time I get up here, it's a 1 to 15, but I might only be up 1.5%, right? So that's that. So I'm going for about 300 pips overall on this setup. Now as we break down the entry, I want you guys to be open to this. Obviously, 2588 was the entry point that I wanted. It is early in the day, so be open to the fact that we could potentially run this low. This is why risk management is important, because you want to still be able to have money left to play the game again. So in the case that this trade loses, I would be looking to get in again underneath this low, right? Because I take multiple attempts. I'm not just a one and done all the time, guys. You got to take this thing for multiple attempts sometimes two, maybe even three. And then when you get this big home run hit, that's where you make your bag back. You make your money back. All the money that you risk, you make it back when when you hit or when you win. So trust me, it's okay to take multiple attempts. I plan on doing that here. So right now, hopefully that first one holds up. But in the case that it doesn't, because this low just wants to accumulate a little bit more orders, I'm ready for that next jab too. Okay. That's why risk management is important, guys. Right. All right. So GU GU has gone pretty bullish overall. All yen pairs have been extremely bullish, to be honest. Um, overall, overall, can I see this going bullish? Yeah, just based off of the overall momentum that JPY pairs have been having in general, right? It's not much outside of that that makes me want to go bullish. Just the fact that the market has spent like the past day consolidating, that could cause a reason for it. This could just be an area of accumulation. The market has just been ranging, it's just been consolidating, hasn't really been going down, hasn't really been going up for a number of hours now, dating back to last week. So just with this, the market could be accumulating orders here. It might push down a little bit lower though. Just to run into something over here and then go bullish again. Again, not my favorite type of setup. I like taking trades out of candles that are a little more powerful. But this is another one of those examples where you got that wick down and the market shoots up. That wick down is a sell to buy candle, regardless of how I like it, regardless of how it looks to me. Just the fundamental characteristics of it, right? And I just mean the foundational piece of it, not news fundamentals or economic fundamentals, but just looking at the foundational element of the move, right? I try not to get too deep into the candle and just focus on the move that's created. The move is a down, then up move. So when you see the market sell, then buy, there is mitigation that can take place in this candle. And if the market decides to mitigate at this level, it could be 190, right? I think that's a solid round psychological number that a lot of people, hedge funds, institutions, etc., might be looking to, either close orders or add orders. So 190.0. It's a big, solid round number that a lot of people might be interested in for this market to go a little bit lower, right? see this market starting to slow down a little bit. We get that one big push down, and then maybe we shoot back up again, right? So I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that. Wouldn't be surprised at all, to be honest. Market's been very bullish on all yen pairs lately. So I would keep my eyes open on that. Again, keep your options open. Even though I have that zone marked up, I always mark up the low just in case this happens. I can take that one as well. Okay. Now, obviously, you don't want to do this on every trade that I'm showing you guys today. This is a weekly outlook. So whatever trade you like, take it, right? But I would limit it to 1, 2, maybe 3 setups, because the more trades you take, the more it's going to affect your risk management profile, right? You can't take 5, 6, 7 trades all using the same. If you say you're going to risk 1 or 2% per day, or say you're going to risk 2 or say 3% a day max, right? It's going to be hard to do that if you taking every trade setup on the charts, right? But if you pick 2 pairs, it's easy to say, all right, I'm gonna risk 2-3% a day. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to take every trade that I'm marking up. You know, I'm just doing this as a due diligence because it's the weekly outlook. I'm not even gonna take all of these trades. I'm gonna focus on my favorites for the most part, which is GU, NAS, GCAD, Gold, EuroCAD, UCAD, right? And I'm not even gonna take all of them. It's like really these are where I look first, and whichever ones present themselves are the ones that I'm gonna take. So if I get GU and UCAD first, those are the 2 that I'll focus on. Or I might get Nas one day and Gold, and I might just focus on those. But just because I'm showing y'all all of these, that does not mean take every trade that's available. All right. So GA finally came back down. I remember I marked this up. This was on the 7th, or the 8th. I felt like we were gonna come clear these lows out, pushing down into this zone and get a bullish reaction. And we see how long it took. It literally took like, what's that? It took like 2 weeks for that to happen, right? So that just goes to show you, like, you know, you want to draw those zones out into the future because they might not always hit the moment you think they will, right? So you gotta be patient. You know, set alerts. That's probably one of the better things you could do is set an alert so that way you'll be reminded whenever those zones are hit. So, you know, we hit that zone, then we got this big bullish push. Now the market is starting to go sideways. Does look like we're correcting quite a bit. I would personally be looking for this market to continue bullish. I'm really looking for bullishness out of all GBP pairs. That's what it's looking like at this point. If I look over here, I don't like these highs one bit. I think these highs are weak. I think there's liquidity above them. Then if I look over here to the left, we got more weak highs up here as well. So there's a lot that can happen just off of this move down here. Some people would probably feel comfortable buying currently where the market is, but it is still a little early. I personally would wait a little closer towards London. Look tonight. Maybe we get the market to push down underneath these lows. That happens, you know, we can get in a little better position to take buy positions, right? So if the market does drop down, we can get in. I think we got a nice 1 to 7 or so waiting on us, all right? Keep it going. G-Chef, I don't really see much there. GN, I don't trade GN, to be honest. So I'm gonna keep it going. I actually talked about this on one of our calls. I had a option A and an option B. Truth be told, I didn't even want to take option A, but I did it just to, to not be a hypocrite, to be honest. Because I always say, like, if you pick and choose which one you want to take, don't get me wrong, price action can tell you which one to take, right? And I was ready for option B off the rip. But at the same time, I just wanted to really like prove the point that you could be profitable regardless. So I was like, deep down in my heart, I don't think the market is going to drop from here, but I'm going to still, act as if this is a good setup. So take option A, wait for the high to get swept, and then take option B as well, right? So I don't know if anybody in the community remembers this. I was like, look, if depending on when this trade happens, if it's like anywhere, if it's 30 minutes before new market day, wait for the market to open, right? Or the stock market at 9:30 Eastern. Wait for that volume to kick in. Then use that high as your vantage point for your stop loss, right? So if we look right here, this candle right here was 8:30, right? And I'm Central Time. So this 8:30 candle is really when the stock market open. So we see the volume kicks in on the next candle, makes this high right here. All right. Then it pushes down. The market retraces. You could have sold here with your stop above the high that the new market day created. And then that would have been your option B with a nice little sell-off right here from there to down here. So I was just saying that because, again, even if you lost here by taking that trade setup, you can make everything right by having a backup plan. So now that backup plan did work, now it's like, where do we go from here? Since we actually came and created that strong high, we had a high here, then we took it out right there. So that's our strong M or our strong high pattern. That's what we like to see when we see a high that's going to create the market, continue to go bearish, right? So now that we got that, I do believe Nas is going to continue to go bearish a little more. I'm going to always advocate for getting in at the highest point possible. So just for me to be able to do that comfortably, of course, I'm going to say this right here. Wait for the market to sweep up, take that high, and then we could take more sales. That's always my go-to setup. Could the market drop before that? Absolutely. But for me, I just want to wait for us to come clear that high one more time. I feel like if we can get in at like 18,440, that would be good. But make sure you check your broker because everybody's broker is not the same. All right. So make sure you check your broker. Make sure you check your trading view. There's multiple different, NAS 100 pairs. Based on the broker, you could be having a completely different price. So I want y'all to double check because there's been times where I gave out a setup and I won, but maybe somebody else may have lost because their prices was way different. So 18,440 on my chart might be something completely different on your chart. Just make sure it's the right thing. So just make sure, just look at the setup as a whole. And wherever this number is on your broker, that's where you could take the trade. But really, I'm looking at on a 5-minute, it's like sell candle. We got this imbalance right here. That's really the area that I want to sell from, truth be told. Like right around here, okay? So we got our Asian range consolidation. Market is pushing up above it, but it's still early in the day. So I want to wait for the market to come back up again, a little bit closer towards London. And if anything, we could do this during New York. That'll be great too. But New York might happen. It's cool. All I got to do is take it one session at a time. Then the next session is London. So that's why I'm going to focus on London. But if we can get this during New York, that's also great. All right. No setup on USD CAD. No setup on gold. See what else we got. See what else we got. EU. EU will probably do the same thing that GU does, but I don't trade EU, so I'm just gonna let it go. I don't know if any of y'all trade EU, but if so, you might be interested in that. Euro JPY. You know, I told y'all what I thought GU or GJ was gonna do. So maybe Euro JPY does the same. As y'all can see, it's been very bullish lately. So do expect Euro AUD to continue bullish. I just don't see a lot of bearishness coming from what the market is currently doing. I do believe we'll return bearish in due time. But I feel like we got a pretty decent amount of pips to the upside to go first. So we should at least be at 1.67, around 1.668, 1.67, around that ballpark before we start looking for sales again. So I am looking for buys on Euro AUD. The retracement is kind of shallow, so maybe the market just continues up. I probably won't be participating in that move because I need to see a steep enough retracement to make me comfortable to enter a position, right? So that's another thing. You gotta be cool with that sometimes. Sometimes you're just not gonna take trades. You know, there's sometimes you see a nice setup, but you may not be able to participate in it because the retracement ain't steep enough or whatever. That's okay too. You know, take the trades that are easy to identify so that way you could take them again. You know, every setup ain't for you. Sometimes you see nice setups, but you know, if you took it and you won and you don't even know why, that's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather lose a trade and know why than win a trade and not know why. So, as far as this USD CAD, I actually had this level marked up prior to this big drop. And I was like kind of upset because I missed that big drop. But now that the market is coming back to this area and I am expecting the DXY to go bearish, this could be a nice setup as well. So I will be looking at 3619. Maybe a tad lower. Really, I just want to be above this high. So once I get above 361, 3613, 1.3613. And I'm saying this and I'm repeating it because I want y'all to like be active listeners, you know, have a pen, have a paper, you know what I'm saying? Like just really be an active listener. Don't just be, you know, wasting time on the call. Right? 3613 or 3614. When the market gets above that area, for me, I feel like you should start looking for sell opportunities. Now, obviously, the market is right at that level right now. So I'm not telling you to sell. It's like 8 o'clock Central Time. It's 7:57. So wait for the time where the volatility comes into the market, right? We still got like another 4 or 5 hours. So see if this market wants to stall out for a while, see if it wants to consolidate for a bit. Then once we get up here around London, then we could probably get a nice little drop off, right? So I would be looking at USD CAD. We've been having some real good trades on USD CAD lately. We caught this one here. And I gave this one out, but we just we literally missed by 0.2 pips. But if you guys listen to me when I say, look, if you less than a pip or two away, just take the trade, you know, and that you see that monster move that came from that, right? So, you know, we've been doing pretty decent on USD CAD. I'm looking for that to continue. Us clearing these highs just gives me reason to believe that now we can sell off. Whether we break new lows or not is irrelevant to me because, again, I'm an intraday trader. All right. Let me check the chat. This is what be messing me up. I'll look at USD CAD and NAS 100 and say they can't both drop at the same time. Why not? Why not? Because DXY and USD aren't correlated, or is that why? What is it? Because again, CAD could have some different news come out. That's the thing. Like, they're currency pairs, so they're not going to always correlate perfectly. The only currency pair that I see that correlates nearly identically to the DXY is Euro USD. Outside of Euro USD, yes, there's correlation, but any other pairs, they can do whatever they want at the end of the day. You know how many times gold has been bullish while the DXY has been bullish, right? And if they were perfectly correlated, they would be doing the opposite all the time. That's not always the case. That can happen though, right? Because trading is all about probabilities. So you're in a higher probability of them not moving the same, but at the same time, shit happens. It's the markets, you know. So yeah, end of season dollar. They move they move more opposite during like the fresh like 9:30 Eastern. Like right when stuff is popping off or right when news is happening, that's when they really move opposite. But outside of that, you can catch the market, slipping and moving at a certain time. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. USD JPY, can't stand that pair, so we're gonna keep it going. USD CHF looks pretty interesting. I don't trade this that often, but I do see the Asia range manipulation. We got some supply right here. I could see this happening. Why not? We got some weak lows, weak lows, weak lows. We got a large area of imbalance here that needs to be filled. So yeah, I could see that. Especially with me believing everything is gonna go bearish. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. For like 13, let's just say 15 pips, just to give you a round number. 15 pips stop. Come and blow through that low. I could see that, I could see that. Nice little 1 to 10. Keep your option B open as well, just in case the market wants to go up a little higher than anticipated. So keep your option B open also, or you could take it up here. And you might lose 1%, but you'll gain 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10% back, just depending on how you take the approach, right? So yeah, I could see that. I could see that playing out. But yeah, family. That's about it. I didn't want this to be a real long call. Because I still want to upload it. I'm gonna make sure it's uploaded ASAP tonight. Last couple weeks I've been busy because March is like a super heavy like birthday month for me and my family. So it's like every other day and every weekend I've been, not just my birthday a couple weekends ago, but every weekend of this month literally is been packed with events and stuff like that. So I would do the call and I had to tear out real quick. But I'm at the house now. I'll make sure this call is uploaded within the hour. I'll drop the link so you guys can lock in and catch up on anything that was potentially missed. But other than that, I have no other pairs that I'm currently looking at. All right, family. Comments, questions, concerns, feel free to let me know real quick. Not that I don't want to give an input, bro, but like I'm not really feeling gold at the moment in any direction, you know. You know, there's a reason why I glossed over it when I went through my favorites. I'm just not really in a gold trading mood, to be honest. I mean, I see what you see, but there's a lot of upside as well. You know, your can the market drop here? Yeah. But it could also go up here and I wouldn't be surprised. So whenever I got conflicting biases like that, I'm just not going to touch the pair because there's other money out there to be made. It's other pairs that you can make money on with a clear conscience. And if you take the trade, you're not going to lose, or you're not going to be mad. Like, damn, I knew this shit. I know I shouldn't have took that. You know, gold is in a position right now as if I take it and I take a L, I'm gonna be like, I know I shouldn't have been on this pair anyway. So for me, I don't have no opinion on gold at this moment. Um, I'm just kind of like backing off from it, to be honest. But yeah, family, I do appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. This link will be uploaded here shortly, and you guys will be able to tap in. Other than that, I appreciate y'all again. If you guys want more calls like this, several days a week, I encourage you guys to please tap into Trade Genius. If you want all of my insights on how I trade, I encourage you guys to go to www.tradegeniusacademy.co, and that's .co, okay? Where you can actually grab my full course going over everything that I go through in my process as a trader. There's a lot of things that aren't shared on these free calls because I could just go on for hours and hours. But if you want everything that I look at, that's where you can find that information. Or you can join the community, which is currently just $60 per month. And we literally do hella calls, bro. Like, you're gonna get no less than 24 calls a month, right? So just with that, at the price point of $60 a month, can't beat that. So I would highly encourage you guys to tune in to one or the other, all right? Or both if you're really serious about leveling up. All right. But other than that, again, thanks. I will see you guys at the top or from the top, because the bottom is too crowded and we'll never look down on you unless it's to help you up, man. Love y'all, man. See y'all on the next call. Peace.